In today's video, we're taking a look at a rig that many believe is the biggest advancement in carp fishing since the hair rig. This is the Ronnie Rig. Let's get down into my swim and take a closer look. So here it is, the Ronnie Rig, and if you have somehow missed this and all of the information about it throughout the angling media, then, well, unfortunately you have missed out on a rather large part of modern day carp fishing, but hopefully I can use this video to fill you in with some information. Now, this rig is constructed using a curved shank hook, which is directly attached to a quick change size 11 ring swivel. Now, the way that is done we will get into shortly, but what it enables that hook to do is have a full 360-degree motion without any restrictions whatsoever, offering massive potential for excellent hook holds and a rig that can be used in so many different situations. Pop-ups, wafters or bottom baits, it doesn't matter, the Ronnie Rig can do it all. Now, this rig has accounted for so many big fish in the UK and abroad that it really is hard to ignore. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to tie one of these up in rapid, quick time with a little bit of help from the guys at Gemini Carp Tackle. Now, we all get done time and time again, but if you combine a Ronnie Rig section with a semi-stiff boom like I've got here, this rig resets itself perfectly every single time. No longer will you need to worry as to whether your rig is fishing. This offers unparalleled confidence, knowing that it is ready every single time that a carp comes into your swim. Now, that boom section that I mentioned is actually a pre-tied product from the guys at Gemini Carp Tackle. And in case you haven't seen Tidy Booms before, there's a couple of key bits of information that you need to know about. Now, first and foremost, these Tidy Booms are made from 100% fluorocarbon, and that means they offer unrivaled camouflage compared to any other hook link available. With a light refractive index of 1.42, almost identical to that of water, these booms really do disappear right before your eyes. These Tidy Booms have a breaking strain of 30 pounds and a diameter of 0.50, which means they are the perfect combination of strength, reliability and rigidity. This is the perfect component to include if you need a rig that resets time and time again. And let's be honest, that is 99% of carp fishing rigs these days. At either end of a Tidy Boom, there is a fused loop, and this is done with a process called Fused Bond Technology. It offers not only a much cleaner and tidier solution than a knot, but also is far stronger and far more reliable. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's going to get super expensive if I have to replace that boom section every single time I catch a fish. Luckily, these are super durable, and that is just not the case. These things will last fish after fish after fish. No worries whatsoever. They come in packs of 3 because obviously most of us fish 3 rods at a time, and they're available in 3 different sizes: 5.5 inch, 7 inch and 9 inch, and that basically just enables you to tailor your rig to your fishing situation. When it comes to cost, they are just £4.19 per packet. And to top it off, the Tidy Booms are made right here in the UK, enabling Gemini Tackle to keep an eye on every single step of the process. They take strength and reliability very, very seriously indeed. So the fact that they are made on home soil means that they can make sure you get the perfect product every single time. Now, in this video, as I said, I'm going to show you how to construct a Ronnie Rig using one of the Tidy Booms for Ronnie Rigs. Now, if you don't want to give the Ronnie Rig a go, but you would like to incorporate a Tidy Boom into one of your favourite rigs, then don't hesitate to pop onto the Gemini website, because they do Tidy Booms for a whole host of different rigs. You'll be able to pick your favourite one, give it a go, and I'm pretty certain you will absolutely love them. So to construct a Ronnie Rig, first of all, you're going to need to take your chosen length of Tidy Boom. Me personally, I like the 5.5 inch ones. So now you've got that out, you need to get your chosen hook. Now, as I said right at the beginning of this video, the Ronnie Rig does seem to work best, for me at least, with the use of a curved shank hook. Something strong, reliable, and of course, ultra sharp, and then you're basically onto a winner. Next up, simply slide the hook eye onto the hook, if you like, of the quick change swivel, and just click it into place. You'll hear it go. Next up, you need a piece of heat shrink tube. Now I like to use the 10mm pre-cut lengths that Gemini do. They're a nice matte black colour and I use them for so many different rig presentations. They seem to be perfect every single time. Slide that over the point of the hook and then down and round the shank, and then just cover that sort of hook slash crook section of the quick change swivel. Now because that is a metal to metal connection, you can just use a lighter straight on to that sort of hook and swivel join. Now obviously you need to make sure that you don't go anywhere near the fluorocarbon boom section because that would be damaged by the heat. Now as it cools, I like to put a very slight kink into the heat shrink tubing. It just gives the whole rig a very sort of aggressive feel. Next up, you need to take a small hook bait ring swivel. These just slide around the shank of the hook, and we're going to use this for attaching your hook bait and still offering a nice amount of free movement. So slide that over the point, down and round the shank of the hook. Now to follow that, you need a small hook bead. Again, just pop it onto the point of the hook, and then once that's located, you can sort of twist it on and slide it down and round the shank of the hook, again putting it in place. Now a lot of people will put that bead opposite where the barb would be. Personally, I think that makes the rig sit a little bit sort of upright, if you like, and I actually push that hook bead down so it's almost opposite the tip of the point of the hook. This enables the hook itself to sit at a very aggressive angle, almost creating like a claw type shape off of the lake bed. The final steps are nice and straightforward. You quite simply need to take your chosen pop-up and just use a bit of bait floss to attach it to that hook bait swivel that is on the back of the shank of the hook. Take your bait floss, pop that through the eye of the hook bait swivel, take your chosen hook bait and slide it down and onto the floss. Trim the floss and then blob it with a lighter just to make sure your hook bait doesn't come off. Now, as I mentioned, there are plenty of pro anglers around the country using this, not just with pop-ups, but also with wafters and bottom baits. So don't be afraid to experiment. I always like to go to a really sort of prolific day ticket lake and just go through various different options and figure out how I get the best out of a rig. You're looking for those hook holds to be sort of in the scissors of the mouth, or even with a rig like this, it's not uncommon to see this sort of buried an inch or so back in the fish's mouth. This rig offers fantastic potential for really good hook holds. Next up, a small piece of putty. I like to mould this around the fused section of the loop. Now I like to have this slow sinking. Again, it just helps with that rig to reset time and time again. And there we have it, the Ronnie Rig. A rig that offers fantastic rig mechanics, can be used in almost any situation, and can be tied in record time with some help from the guys at Gemini. If you found this video useful, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any more products just like this from the guys at Gemini. I'll see you in the next one.